Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. 2 men shot overnight in an officer-involved shooting. How it all started and how those men are doing this morning coming up.
Plus, new details on the disturbing case of a newborn baby boy found buried in a southwest Bakersfield backyard. We're now learning who the father of the child may be and his connection to the case.
It's an old pastime coming back to life, cruising the streets of downtown Bakersfield. It'll be a weekend filled with nostalgia, all for a good cause. How you can join in on this Friday, March 15th, 2019. Good morning. Great to have you with us on a Finally Friday. I'm Maddie Jansen.
And I'm Mary Kate Paquette, in for Alex Fisher.
Yeah, he is off on an adventure. In fact, he just texted me. He arrived in Buenos Aires.
Oh, good.
Just about 30 minutes ago.
He's going to have so much fun. We're going to miss him for sure.
Right now, Bakersfield sits at 41 degrees with no winds. It is a little chilly out here, I will say. And as we go throughout today, for some reason we're having a little problem with our weather computer. But we are going to be looking at those temperatures into the 70s this afternoon. So that'll be a great thing for everybody. And the weekend is looking even more beautiful.
And we begin with breaking news from overnight in New Zealand. The death toll continues to climb this morning after a mass shooting at 2 mosques. At least 49 people are dead and dozens of others hurt by the deadly attacks in the city of Christchurch. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern says the shootings appear to have been a well-planned terrorist attack. Right now, police have 4 people in custody and 1 is charged with murder. We'll have the latest details on this tragic shooting coming up in about 25 minutes.
New details this morning on an officer-involved shooting that followed an armed robbery in South Bakersfield. Early this morning, police confirmed 2 people they say are suspects were shot by an officer. It all started just after 9 last night on Plans Road near South High School. Police say 2 people robbed the La Via restaurant at gunpoint. Officers got a call about the armed robbery, and when they arrived, 1 officer opened fire.
I've heard gunshots before around here, like at 12 at night and stuff, but I never saw the cops coming by here.
Right after the shooting, the suspects took off. About 30 minutes later, 2 people matching the suspects' descriptions showed up at Memorial Hospital. Police say their injuries are moderate and don't appear to be life-threatening. The officer who fired his gun is on routine administrative leave. This is the 4th officer-involved shooting this year.
It's 5:04 now. New and disturbing information in the case of a newborn baby found buried in the backyard of a southwest Bakersfield home. As we've reported, a 15-year-old girl gave birth inside the bathroom of a home on Shining Crag Avenue back in November, according to police. Newly released police reports reveal the teen's mother, Beyond Kaur Dillon, took the baby from her daughter and said the baby would be put up for adoption. But instead, police say Dillon drowned the newborn and gave the body to her husband, Justus Singh. Singh told police his 23-year-old nephew, Bakshinder Pal Singh Mann, buried the body in a flower bed. Singh also said he believed his nephew was the baby's father. Singh committed suicide last week. Mann is still on the run. And yet another tragic chapter in this heartbreaking story has come to a close. More than 200 people gathered at Green Lawn Cemetery Southwest yesterday for a funeral for Justus Singh. His widow, Beyond Kaur Dillon, attended the service with a police escort. Dillon is being held on no bail and is being charged with several felonies related to the drowning of her grandson.
Police are trying to figure out how a woman was shot while sitting in her car in a convenience store parking lot. It happened just before 1:30 yesterday afternoon at the Fast Strip gas station on Ming Avenue near South Real Road. Police say they're investigating how the shooting happened, but are not looking for a gunman, though they've yet to offer an explanation on why that is. Police say they've detained several people, but haven't made any arrests. As of last check, the woman was in the hospital with moderate injuries.
It's been more than 17 years since a woman went to work at a McDonald's in Rosamond and never returned home. A jury has now convicted 2 men of her murder. This is surveillance video from that day in August of 2001. It shows 2 men leading 37-year-old Maria Cruz Pina and another employee into the back of the restaurant. Police say the men, Cedric Sutton and Darnell Wheat, assaulted the 2 women and forced them into an office where they demanded that Pina open the safe. When she couldn't, they killed her. In 2012, a tip through secret witness implicated the men in Pina's murder, but they weren't arrested until September of 2016. Sutton and Wheat were found guilty of first-degree murder and are due to be sentenced next month. Both face life in prison without the possibility of parole.
A memorial service is planned this weekend for a longtime Kern County Sheriff's deputy. Robert Fisher died on March 5th. He was 83 years old. According to his obituary, Fisher worked for KCSO for 30 years, serving in several positions, including at the jail, on parole, and as a canine officer. He was promoted over the years and held the position of assistant sheriff when he retired in 1995. The memorial service is happening tomorrow morning at 10 at Hillcrest Memorial Park.
It's 5:07 now. Bakersfield Police and the CHP will be out in full force this weekend looking for people who may have celebrated the luck of the Irish a little too much. BPD will have a DUI checkpoint set up between 6 o'clock Saturday night and 2 o'clock Sunday morning. That's St. Patrick's Day. Officers will be somewhere within city limits looking for signs of drug and or alcohol impairment. Extra officers will also be on patrol Sunday afternoon and evening. The CHP says last year, one person died and nearly 50 others were hurt in DUI crashes around the state over the St. Patrick's Day holiday weekend. We're back at 5:19. If you love classic cars and motorcycles, this weekend's your chance to cruise the streets of downtown Bakersfield at Cruzin for Charity. The third annual event will feature more than 500 cars, trucks, and motorcycles driving down Chester Avenue. It all kicked off yesterday afternoon with a meet and greet at Buck Owens Crystal Palace. This afternoon, folks will meet at Salty's Barbecue on White Lane and cruise to Kern County Raceway Park for a full afternoon and evening of fun. Then tomorrow, the classic cars will drive through downtown Bakersfield and stop in front of the historic Fox Theater for pictures.
Honestly, just an opportunity to have fun, see some awesome vehicles, show off my car. You know, it's my toy. I love having it. So it's an opportunity just to participate and help a good charity out.
We just have a love for the cars and a love for the organizations that we're donating to.
The event benefits a handful of charities here in Kern County, including Honor Flight, Wounded Heroes Fund, and the Boys and Girls Club, just to name a few. For more details, you can head to our website, kget.com. Plus, we will be joined in studio this morning by organizers coming up at 6:20.
Well, the big day downtown tomorrow means drivers should be prepared for road closures. They're happening on and off from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. in several spots. The main closures are 17th to 22nd Street between I and K Streets and Chester Avenue from 23rd Street to Truxton Avenue. Also, Get Bus will still have access to its downtown terminal on Chester Avenue all day through I Street. Several other closures will be in place. We've posted all the details on our website, kget.com. Welcome back. Mission Bank has named a president to take over a new business banking center in San Luis Obispo, Mike Jeffries. According to the Finley reports, the bank has consistently been ranked a super premier performing bank. The new president will be responsible for growing the bank throughout SLO County and the Central Coast. Jeffries brings more than 3 decades of banking and senior management to his new post. Well, state lawmakers are working to make rent more affordable for Californians. Yesterday, they introduced a set of bills aimed at protecting renters. It's all part of a larger plan to tackle the state's housing crisis. The bills would allow cities to put rent control on buildings 10 years or older and on single-family rentals. Landlords who own similar properties with just 1 or 2 units would be exempt from the law.
We have people in the state who once paid 20, 25, 30% of their net income on rent, and today are paying 50, sometimes 60% or more. And this is simply unsustainable.
Governor Gavin Newsom has promised if lawmakers bring him a good package on laws on rent stability, he'll sign it. Lawmakers say they're confident in their proposals. Other than a home, for many, a car will be their most expensive purchase, and that means borrowing. Money expert Stacey Johnson shares tips on getting the best deals on financing or refinancing the family wheels.
With interest rates still at historic lows, refinancing a mortgage can be a really smart move. It can save you hundreds a month, thousands over the life of the loan.
But does that same logic apply to your car loan? It certainly could. Refinancing your car is way cheaper and less hassle than refinancing your house. But there are a few things you need to watch for.
Step 1, do a web search for current rates. Make sure you're looking at refinancing rates, though, not just the rates on new car loans. You'll probably find your best rates at a credit union or a small local local bank. Is your credit good? Keep in mind the rates you're quoted will be for the best borrowers. Step 2, compare rates you find with the rates you're paying now. There are online calculators that will quickly show you your savings. But before you greenlight that new loan, be sure and talk to your existing lender. They may refinance you cheaper because they want to keep your business. Also, while you've got them on the phone, ask about prepayment penalties and see what your loan payoff is. Savings still there? You're ready to roll. But before you get going, some additional considerations. First, resist the temptation to extend the life of the loan for lower payments. In fact, if you can, shorten it. Also, understand that most interest is paid in the first half of a car loan. So the younger your loan, the more you'll save.
Bottom line, refinancing a car loan could be a good idea, especially if you don't end up paying more interest over the long run. Certainly it's something worth checking out. Could use the savings to rev up your investing. In any case, what you need now is a little more information, maybe some links. They're both parked at MoneyTalksNews.com. Just do a search for car loans. For Money Talks News, I'm Stacey Johnson.
Money Talks is brought to you by your local consumer credit counseling service. If you've got debt problems or just want some free budget counseling, call today.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.